Hello and welcome to Three Guys Talk Film, the podcast where three guys talk film. My name is Chris and I'm joined today by the usual two,
Nathan
and George.
And today we were going to be talking about James Bond, but obviously it's been delayed because of the coronavirus. So instead we are going to be talking about Disney Pixar and giving our top threes of Disney Pixar films.
Yeah, because basically Onward is now out, I believe.
Yep.
It's out this week, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been another one that's been well received by critics anyway. I don't know the kind of box office figures, but...
I mean, Chris Pratt basically playing Blue Andy Dwyer is okay for me.
Yeah, and then Tom Holland just being
Playing
Tom Holland.
as usual,
Yeah.
Are either of you going to go and see it?
Nah, probably
No?
not.
Probably not. I would if I had, like, the disposable tenner,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah, if I had the disposable 2 hours, I probably would as well. But
Yeah. I think it's like when it eventually pops up on like Amazon or Netflix or something else.
Yeah, I might give it a bash then.
Yeah.
But then again, I can say that about Coco. Like, I'm not saying that either. And that's like meant to be one of the best Disney Pixar films for ages.
Supposedly. Yeah.
But anyway, not
So
saying what other
what we
people think.
want,
Yeah,
yeah.
so say about ours. So George, should we do honourable mentions first?
I'll start with an honourable mention. Shout out to Finding Nemo, an absolute classic, of course.
It is.
One of the key childhood films, I think, for basically our entire generation. Just grew up with that, and what a story as well. It's great. Amazing cast. I think they just get Willem Dafoe in to be like the black and white fish in the fish tank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that flex is just impressive.
It's
really,
just like
when you think
Pixar
about
being
it.
like, we can do what we want.
Yeah, basically. And it's just a nice, cute story. Some nice animal rights activism in there, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But no, it's just peak Pixar. Really, it's got everything that Pixar's about. You know, humor, heart, an actually interesting story, and it's a classic.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah. Mine's probably Toy Story 1,
Okay.
the first,
Because it kicked it off.
because it kicked it all off where it all began. And let's say this whole thing is just like a massive nostalgia kick anyway.
Yeah.
So I used to watch all the Toy Stories just constantly.
On repeat, just like...
Yeah, just all day, every day. I had my own Buzz Lightyear.
I had my... Oh, what did I have? I had Buzz. I had Woody.
Yeah.
I had Bullseye.
You had a Bullseye?
I had a Bullseye.
Nice.
Nathan's jealous.
So, talk about the 1%, am I right?
Yeah, no, jeez.
Talk about the only child life, am I right?
Yeah, I'm an only child. Just unloved.
Harsh.
Okay, so before we delve into...
Three guys disappoint parents.
Wait, mine is Bug's Life. Don't know why that took me so long to know. I know what it is. It's Bug's Life. Bug's Life... So I feel like it's always relatively easy to start something, but it's difficult to maintain it.
Yeah.
And Bug's Life came second, and if Bug's Life hadn't been anywhere near as good as it was, I don't think that it would have necessarily worked as a franchise. Like, Pixar could have been dead in the water if Bug's Life was rubbish, and you never would have had Toy Story 2, you never would have had all the other ones that were going to come along. And it's such a solidly strong film throughout. It's so good. It is a really good film. The only thing that like mars it for me now is Kevin Spacey, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit easier to ignore his presence though, because you don't have to see him.
Yeah, but it's still his voice in it in a kids film, and that just makes it weird.
That does make it weird.
So like that's kind of what's avoided it from the top three for me, to be honest. Which
Nice one, Kevin.
is a sad time, but you know, unfortunately, that's got to be the way it is. So George, start us off with your top three, please, bud.
The bronze medal, if you will.
Bronze medal.
Yeah, my third is Toy Story 3.
Nice.
How's that for symmetry? The 3.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, it was the most impactful of the Toy Story films. And I watched it when I was like 15. But I think it was just a perfect send-off for the toys. And, you know, I enjoyed Toy Story 4. Is this picking up?
Yeah.
Okay. I enjoyed Toy Story 4, but... yeah, it didn't really need to be made because Toy Story 3 was the perfect send-off. I mean, you've got all these characters leaving Andy, going to a new home, and the final scenes, you know, you've got the conveyor belt scene in the garbage disposal, and then the final send-off where it's like, so long, partner. I was like, oof,
Yeah.
big oof.
That scene got me more than the because we all knew they were going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
logically,
yeah,
my film
exactly.
brain kicked in, and I was like, they're going to be fine. It's all right. Still got 20 minutes to go. It's fine. But when they said goodbye to Andy, I was just like,
Yeah, and that for me was the perfect way to finish it. And it's strange that they brought it back. Like I said, I did enjoy it, but yeah, for me, I think I liked the humour in the third one as well. It was funny. I know you've got some problems with it, so it was a Buzz Lightyear and stuff.
yeah, not necessarily. My problem is the fourth one more with Buzz, but like
Fair.
the third one is still good. I don't think it has the charm of the old ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, whereas for me, I really felt it, and yeah, I just had a load of fun with it for like 90% of the time, and then the last 10% just killed me.
Yeah.
So that's what you want from a Pixar film. Yeah.
For me, it had a little bit of a lull in the middle that the other ones didn't necessarily have as much. And that's why it's not like my favourite, but I do still really love that film. It's a great film.
It is quality, and I just like to be indie and throw in number 3.
Fair.
Don't want to be mainstream.
Nathan Wabi.
Nathan Wabi. Yeah, so I was considering putting Toy Story 3 here as well, but I went Toy Story 2.
Is it mainstream?
Mainstream.
No, I'm just kidding. That's
mainstream.
actually quite indie.
Yeah.
Toy
Yeah,
Story
but-
1, I feel like would be maybe than most people's pick.
See, I always thought it was Toy Story 2 as everyone's favourite.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I don't really know.
it just
I
kind of
don't know.
bypassed me when I was a kid. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think
Like, I've seen it a couple of times, but it's just not.
yeah.
It didn't hit as
Yeah,
well.
that's fair.
It's like it's around that sweet spot where I think the first one. What year did the first one come out?
95, I think.
95. So I wasn't even born when that one came
I
out.
was.
Like,
I think it was the year I was.
yeah.
You remember it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so obviously I saw the first one when I was really, really young, and then the second one. I think I was, I don't know, like maybe 7 or 8 when I first watched that one. So I was just about old enough to understand what was happening. Plus, like I had already grown quite attached to the first one. So by the time the second one came out, like I was just excited to see the characters again, and introducing Jessie as well added like a new dynamic to it, which
And she's a cool character.
yeah,
definitely.
she is, yeah.
I think that's the thing that lets Toy Story 3 down a little bit. Is the characters they introduce aren't anywhere near as good as like Jessie and Bullseye and all that lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Not as iconic.
No.
Yeah, because if you think about, if I said to you like, who comes to mind when I say Toy Story, you go Buzz, Woody, and then it'd be Jessie, Bullseye, those sorts of characters. Whereas like
Slinky Dog.
Slinky
Wheezy.
Dog. Oh, Wheezy.
Wheezy is
Oh,
banter.
is he the second one?
He's
as
in
well?
Toy Story 2,
Oh,
yeah. That's the whole he kicks the whole plot off because he
Oh,
gets put into
Wheezy.
the trash and they don't want him to.
Oh my god, and I love penguins as well, so that's like a double whammy for me.
I love
I
the
love
remote
the
control
squeaker.
car. I had one of those. I had the remote control car.
Oh yeah,
It's
the remote
incredible.
control car was amazing.
Yeah, that was next level.
I had that car as well when I was a kid.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is it's a work of genius. So Toy Story 2 is just incredible, really. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like it's got a lot of standout moments though, because like when I think of Toy Story 3, the only bit that really sticks to me now is the trash compactor. Is it a furnace?
It's a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're about
Bit
to
of
burn,
both.
aren't they? Yeah.
Either
both,
the toys
yeah.
are holding hands. That's all.
The toys are holding hands.
That's
They're
all you
gonna
really need
die.
to know. But then when I think of Toy Story in general, I think of like the airport scene when they go to Al's toy barn, sneaking across the road in the
Yeah.
cones.
Yep,
That's
yep,
Toy Story 2.
Yep, wrecking all of the cars. The
Yeah.
bit where he fights with Zorg in the lift as well,
Oh,
which is
uh,
definitely
I'm
ripping
sorry,
off Star
it's,
Wars.
It's pronounced Zerg.
Zerg, sorry, yeah. I got it wrong. I'm sorry.
Calls himself a Toy Story fan. You're not an absolute stan like the rest of us, clearly.
I just love the fact that he's beating him on the thing and the voice locks instead. It's
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
buzz, buzz, buzz.
That's the other thing as well, because like fair enough, like the original Toy Story, like it could like you could see it as a bit of a gimmick, like the whole talking toys kind of thing. But like for the second one to arguably be better is a pretty big achievement.
It gave it real heart, I think.
Yeah.
I really do.
Like Toy Story 2 proved how much we'd grown to love the characters in Toy Story 1.
I'd agree with that.
Very philosophical as well.
Very, very.
Okay.
How about you, Chris?
I'm gonna. I really can't decide on the order, but I think
You need to go Toy Story 1 now to complete it.
No, I'm
The
not.
trilogy.
I'm gonna go Inside Out
Nice.
because it's a
That's the
great.
talent.
It's a great film.
I don't want to see it.
No, I won't pull it out now. You know what I mean? But it's a really good film. It actually manages to simplify what your mental state is to a kid, but is also really like hard hitting for adults watching it as well. So I think it does what Pixar is really good at doing, which is the ability to marry stuff for adults and kids and put it in a film so both can enjoy it. I think that's something that Disney themselves don't necessarily do as well. But in terms of that film is incredible. And Bing Bong, Jesus Christ, like that ending
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it too much for in case anyone hasn't seen it, because it is obviously
It's fine.
2016, but. Jeez, it is obviously
It's
2016, but
It's fine.
2016. But Jesus Christ,
yeah.
I cried so
I-
hard.
I'm going to jump on this one as well because this was my number 2.
Okay, fair.
Same reasons, really. Like you say, it's essentially 2 films in one, where it's
Yeah.
just it's like I think I might actually be quoting something off the Empire podcast here. That could easily be happening.
Okay, but say it anyway.
Possible credit to the Empire podcast for this, but
Possible.
it's a colourful sort of animation for the kids. But like as you say, for the adults, especially if you've dealt with anything like that, it's pretty hard hitting stuff, and it does it in like it's a quirky way, but it's so simple. Like it's not it's deep without coming across as being really complicated.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Amy Poehler being Joy,
big time.
because she's great in that film.
Yeah, and just
She's just great in everything. Yeah.
She is really. Let's be honest, we love Amy Poehler.
just every time anger is on screen. Oh my god.
But sadness is also good as well. That film wouldn't work if sadness was crap.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it is. It's, for me, it's the epitome of what Pixar do, where it's like it makes, let's say, a colourful animated film, but also touches on real world issues in a way that other animated films just don't.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
What's your number
So-
2, Chris?
Now we'll go with yours.
Yeah.
Go around.
Yeah. Back to
No,
you
no,
now.
Round table,
I
back
thought
to
I'd
you.
mix it up, but all right.
Nah, back to you, mate. I still haven't decided what the order is.
That's the main reason. Fair. For me, it is The Incredibles 1.
Don't look at me like that, just because I prefer The Incredibles 2.
Wrong.
I just wanted to make it clear. Yeah,
Wrong.
exactly. Wrong.
It's just more fun.
Fingers.
No. The first Incredibles is so fun, and it feels timely now with all the superhero
Yeah.
stuff that's going on. That kind of approach to it all, and kind of ripping on the superhero genre and everything, but doing it really intelligently. And the family dynamic's great. I think all the characters are so iconic that you know them all.
Frozone.
Even Jack, you know, he's just like, he didn't even say a word, but he's just quality.
But-
And the story is so good. Like I remember being shocked when Syndrome came
Yeah.
along, and you know, you
Turned
see
out it was-
he felt betrayed and getting his revenge, and then you got Edna,
Edna
absolute
Moss.
Knockips.
comedy genius.
You know, it's the director who voices Edna.
Yeah,
right?
I saw that the other
Seriously?
day.
Yeah, it's Brad Bird.
Yeah,
Oh my
It's the
God.
bloke who directs it.
It's a bloke.
Yeah, it's because
Oh my
Edna
God.
Mod and a guest.
That-
Darling.
That,
Sorry.
that is
See, iconic,
incredible.
iconic. Hey.
But
Moving
no,
on.
I do agree that
Moving
Incredibles is exceptional film. For me, the pacing is a bit weird in the second act. Like it's a bit.
Yeah, I think as a
blue.
10-year-old, I wasn't really critiquing it. I haven't seen it since.
But that's the thing.
then.
Like, I balanced the two, and Incredibles 2 as whilst the villain isn't as good because it's not as great a motivation as Syndrome. Like the pacing of that film is like so much quicker, and
It's
I'm all
quicker,
about
but as a result, I didn't really connect to it as much.
See, I felt it was just quick enough that like I connected to every single bit.
Yeah, that's interesting because when I finished it, I was just like, okay, that's the film done. Cool.
Yeah, just like right chips.
Yeah, whereas like, just all the design work and stuff on the first one was quality as well. Like that big ball with the legs that he has to fight.
Oh, when he first goes to the island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you've got
And
it
ramps up in
inspired
difficulty as
like the best PlayStation 2 game.
Oh
The
my God,
Incredibles
yeah.
game was
How's it going?
incredible.
well. That game was amazing.
Oh, there's a Finding. Sorry, this is completely off track now. There's a Finding Nemo PS2 game, PS1 game.
I had the demo on PC.
Oh my God, you know the bit.
That's a flex, Judge.
You know the bit of the film where they're like bouncing across the jellyfish. Like that was one of the levels, and it was insane. It was like Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing. It was ridiculous.
It introduced you to the horrors of video gaming.
Oh, look at me now.
Look, you know, a weathered professional.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, so have you had enough time to think about yours?
No, but sure, let's go. I think it has to be Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta. I didn't want to just in case Nathan Warby copies, but Monsters Inc. is
Why
so
getting
good.
second named
Wow.
non-stop?
Wow.
You're establishing a brand.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's because I had to sub-edit your thing earlier, and it had your full name on it, and now I just keep saying it.
It's a quality name.
Wait, you wrote my full name on it then?
Yeah, I did, because you've got to, because it's an article. Anyway, that's straying away from the point. Monsters
Yes.
Inc. is great. So, the reason Monsters Inc. is great is because Mike Wazowski,
Yes.
Yes.
Sully, and the
Yeah.
betrayal at the end when his like father figure betrays him. 'Cause
Yeah. Exactly.
That's like he goes to Mr. Wharton and he's like, "Come on, we've got this," and it's a massive assassination on corporate America as well, which is I quite like. If you're
Yeah.
watching it as an adult, it's like, you know, they're I mean, you could apply it now in the fact that oil companies are doing all the oil stuff, and yet you could be using green energy, and they're like, yeah, but no, don't worry about it. You don't want to be worrying about that, and then they find this thing that's actually better for them, and like actually is cheaper, and it makes everyone happier. So it's a massive attack on corporate and capitalism, and yet told once again like in a kids film.
Yeah.
But Mike Wazowski's wonderful. Boo is great as well.
Boo's just the cutest character
just
ever.
kitty. Oh, it's so
It's heartbreaking.
when he has to send her back, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I cry so. Why am I picking all the ones that make me cry at the end?
That's what Pixar does.
There is no Pixar film that doesn't try
To
to
make
bring
you-
a few
yeah.
tears up.
That's a good point.
And that had one of the just most despicable bad guys ever in Randall.
Randall
I
is the
hated Randall.
worst.
Okay, I'm going to jump on this one as well because you are apparently just my spirit animal when it comes to Pixar. This is my number one.
It's my number one as well.
Wow.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
Wow.
you say, it's just such a clever film.
It is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and it was early on in the process as well. It's one of the early
Yeah,
ones.
it's like,
It is.
the way that Pixar seem to like they pick what could be a gimmick and they just flesh it out so much to the
Well,
point
yeah,
that
'cause-
like it actually feels like a real world. full of
Yeah,
monsters.
honestly, yeah, or like the little jokes
Yeah,
or
it's
monster
like,
themed
yeah.
jokes, and like
Yeah.
they've got everyday items that we know,
Yeah.
and they just put a twist on it.
It-
It's the like attention to detail is brilliant.
Detective Pikachu reminded me a bit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like that first
Yeah.
bit where like it's just like the shots like through the city. And it's like it's just everyday activities, but with some weird like monster themed spin on it.
Yeah.
Oh, the monster restaurant. As
Yeah,
well. That was
like
good.
the,
That was
yeah,
cool.
like the guy who's like cooking, like doing sushi and stuff, and he's just got like 1,000 arms. It's just like slicing stuff left, right,
Yeah.
and centre. And
And then you've got the Mike Wazowski's boss, who's just got the most iconic voice. It was like, "Get it done, Mike Wazowski. Your paperwork's late again."
plus like
It's just
the little flip
genius.
as well of the fact that like the monsters are terrified of humans when they're not in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like the second there's like a sock.
Yeah, and
like,
he
in
has
the
to get
factory.
fully
Yeah.
shaven.
But
Oh,
they
that's
do
sad.
that right at the beginning, don't they? Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they establish it really well because you got that whole monster creeping in, and then they scream because the kid sits up, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I think that's it as well. For me, it's the funniest, I think, Pixar film that I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be up there definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely the bit where they get sent to the. This is just, but for listeners at home, this is just us reminiscing about the entire plot of Monsters Inc. So.
Which is the main reason we're doing this. to
Well,
be
yeah,
honest, but-
let's be real. But I really do enjoy the bit where they get sent away and Mike's sulking with him.
Oh my god, yeah. But like the abominable snowman is so happy when he's like making snow cones and like.
Hey, Snowker!
But I said, but I remember like that being like traumatizing as a kid. 'Cause I like bawling when they got pushed through the door and like it was like
Oh, yeah.
add the snow. Oh my god.
It's got one of the best like pacings of a Pixar film. Not to get back to that, but I do.
Yeah, I
it's one
think
of
the
things I look
writing
for.
of it is probably the best for me.
Also, like sounds weird to say like action set piece, but like the whole fight through the doors and stuff as well.
Genius,
Yeah.
genius.
Yeah.
That
What a
must have
final
taken
battle.
months to
Yeah,
figure
like,
out.
when you
Yeah.
think again, like we're talking 2001, I want to say.
I
Something
think
like
so.
that, yeah, it was
Yeah.
early
Rings a
2000s.
bell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so for that time as well. Like the animation, it was really really cool.
It was, but for me,
What's your top one?
it's second.
go on.
So Toy Story 2 for me has to be top.
Nice. We're so like uninspired.
Yeah.
Not one person was like, yeah, do you know what? Good dinosaur.
But it's not. It's trash.
Good dinosaur.
Apparently that's really good. I haven't actually seen it.
No,
but-
it's a bad film.
No?
It does. Oh, right. So my problem with Good Dinosaur is it takes that thing that Pixar do, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna make you cry, and then it just makes that the whole film, which is not the point of a Pixar film.
Exactly. You look at the ones we picked, and there's so much humour in there as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. And like Good Dinosaur from the beginning, you're like, oh, you're gonna try and make me cry. I know you are. But Toy Story 2 for me is just edges Monsters Inc. Like just as well, like not by much at all.
It's a photo finish.
It is a proper like close one, but I think cause it's got an excellent bad guy, just like Monsters Inc. does. In Stinky Pete, is that his name?
Oh yeah, what a
Stinky Pete,
traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference between him and Randall is that like you think Al is going to be the big bad guy, and it turns out it's Stinky Pete right at the end. And you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, it's proper like
Yeah.
switcheroo.
They do rip that off again in Toy Story 3. 'cause
They
it's the
do.
same
They
thing with
massively
Lotso.
rip it off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's-
you
that's
can
my
see
one-
that coming though.
Yeah, that's my one slight against Toy Story 3.
Yeah, it's basically Toy Story 2.
Yes.
Big claims.
But
Big claims.
Toy Story 2 doesn't make me cry as much as Toy Story 3 does.
I see. I'm not necessarily looking for the ones that make me cry. I'm looking for the ones that gave me like a complete journey.
The other two on your
Um,
list both made you cry.
Yeah, they did, but they gave me a complete journey as well. And this one gives me a like full on like from beginning to end friendship journey, and that's why I didn't like Toy Story 4 as much, because the whole thing in that film is Buzz and Woody's friendship, like in Toy Story 2, particularly.
That's and they try the same payoff.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
There's no groundwork for it
Exactly.
whatsoever.
Whereas they spend the entire of Toy Story 2 giving you groundwork for like the fact that Buzz is going to go for Woody, and then Woody turns him down. And he's like, "I'm not coming with you," and then changes his mind and is like, "Actually, you know what? Yeah, like our friendship means more than my own happiness." And I like all that whole element. It stresses the importance of family and everything like that. And I think it's a really, really good film, regardless of the fact that it's a kids' film.
Oh yeah.
Like,
to call Pixar films kids' films is
it's a bit reductive. Isn't it?
It's oversimplifying it.
It is, and it's a shame that they get labelled like that.
Yeah. Like just because it looks childish doesn't mean necessarily is.
It's an animated film. It's not. They're not necessarily kids' films.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. There's always something there for adults.
Yeah,
always.
They're bright and colourful, but
Always.
also incredibly cripplingly sad.
Yeah.
Like Jessie's song did make me sad, like cry when I was a kid. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, definitely.
When she got abandoned. But that's the thing. Like, it's dealing with like abandonment and trust issues, and whether you can trust again once you've been abandoned.
So
it's like,
many.
Jesus Christ.
Well, the whole Toy Story story.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sure, we'll go with it. Like that's like the pretty much whole thing is about like finding where you belong and like what your purpose is.
But it's also
or
about
Finding
knowing.
Nemo.
Or Finding Nemo.
But it's about also as well with Toy
I'm
Story.
pretty sure Finding Nemo is just about bad parenting, isn't it?
Yeah, bad parenting and animal abuse. Yeah.
And animal
But
abuse.
the one with Toy Story that I really like is the fact that it's knowing that everything's going to come to an end and enjoying it anyway. That's the big message of Toy Story, because they know the kids are going to grow up, and they tackle it every single time. And like right at the end of Toy Story 2, she's like, "What? This is going to be over?" And he's like, "Yeah, but just enjoy it now."
Enjoy it, bro.
And that's a really important message, especially nowadays.
This might be a reach because obviously none of us are anywhere near old enough for this to be a thing. But it might, like, I'm trying to think of it from like my parents' point of view when we were in the cinema watching it. So like surely like the toy is kind of becoming obsolete because the kids have grown up. I imagine the parents probably identify quite a lot with that as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's because it's not just about it's about the kid growing up.
Yeah.
And they're throwing out the
they're
stuff.
becoming obsolete as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you see that as well throughout it.
Yeah, like where Andy stops relying on his mom anywhere near as much by the third film, and she's upset by that, and it's brutal.
Andy's mum, what an absolute legend.
I love the fan theory that Andy's mom might be Emily, that's Jessie's owner.
Yeah.
I love that. I want that to be true so much.
I imagine it is as well, because Pixar just does that sort of detail just for no reason.
It does.
Which I respect.
Oh.
Plus, like, it was in the Pizza Planet truck is in like every Pixar film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Genius. So, does that mean that Monsters Inc. is the Pixar film? Since
unless I've convinced you otherwise that Toy Story 2 is better.
I didn't realize we were doing a proper ranking. I didn't, like, was this... So, you had...
Nathan wants to do the maths. I'm just spitballing here.
I had Toy Story 2, but...
No, where was Monsters Inc?
You had
For me,
second. Yeah, it's got to be then, hasn't it?
Yeah,
because Toy Story 2 is not on my list.
So,
yeah,
Monsters Inc. I will not let Toy Story 2 be anything but second.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you can have that.
And then miscellaneous third film, Inside Out? Question mark.
I haven't seen it, so I'm going to trust your opinion and say yes.
What was your other one?
Toy Story 3 and
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles. Oh, The Incredibles.
The Incredibles. I think for me, like, if like Incredibles would have been like fifth, like the first Europa League spot.
Yeah, it would have been a solid fourth for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy to give it to Inside Out. Since you spoke so highly of it.
Inside Out is really good. Go home and watch it.
Yeah.
One day.
It's probably the most grown-up Pixar film.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Even now. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
you can tell its original audience has grown up and is now tailoring films to them as well, which is quite nice.
And they're all mentally scarred from the films that they watched.
Yes.
The Pixar films.
Now they're getting their own back.
Yeah, literally. So, yeah, that's it.
Congratulations, Monsters Inc. 19 years on.
Yeah.
And it's still winning awards.
Still winning awards.
And some would say that this is the most prestigious award you can win.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, some might say that, Nathan.
It's definitely
not us, but some.
Not us, but some might say.
It's definitely the biggest audience size for an awards.
100%. 100%.
So this takes us to unprepared questions for unprepared people.
Who is it that for?
Chris. Yeah, our host today.
Our host.
Have you thought of anything, Nathan, in this last millisecond?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Okay, all right. So we were going to cover this, and I'm just going to ask it as a quick fire question.
Yeah.
With the news that Bond's been pushed back, right? It's had a tough time in production. Anyway.
It's not had a great time, has it?
And the character is having a tough time. Feels kind of lost. Should Bond be scrapped or changed, or are you happy for just another person to come in and then try again?
Changed.
In what way?
It should be nowhere near as serious, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that was all well and good in the early 2000s when it was basically riffing off the Bourne films.
Yeah.
Which literally, if you put them shot by shot next to each other, it's basically a Bourne film. But now it needs, because Kingsman's so successful, Spy has been really successful. It needs to go back to
MCU.
being, yeah, it needs to go back to
like when
camp
the
funniness.
when Casino Royale came out, it was 2006.
Yeah.
So it was before Iron Man even came out.
Yeah, exactly. There's not an appetite really for super serious action films.
No, even like John Wick has like some ironic humour and stuff.
Yeah,
in it.
exactly. And I think it either needs to go the John Wick way and be super gory,
Yeah,
and,
or
intense and all one shot
actually
action
have
and
some interesting kind of combat scenes,
Yeah,
as opposed
or
to just cool driving. And
it
stuff.
needs to go funny, because at the moment I just watch a Bond film and I'm just like, okay, we're globe hopping again. Okay, he's got shot. Okay, the end.
Yeah, and it is just an action film. Like
Yeah.
these days, I feel like films need to cross genres every time.
Yeah.
And Bond just doesn't.
It needs to emulate Hobbs and Shaw.
Okay, and
Said
thank
no
you
one.
for listening.
No, I'm really joking. But in that kind of, not necessarily Hobbs and Shaw, but like that kind of, it needs to be funny. is
Yeah,
my
there's
point.
self-awareness at least. you know.
Exactly. Cause
And to be fair, this film might have that because obviously Phoebe Waller-Bridge came in. She's
Yes.
amazing comedic mind. But now we have to wait until the end of the year to find out.
yeah, and I think it does dramatically need to change.
So
I wouldn't
you
be
wouldn't
opposed to a black Bond
scrap
either.
it?
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't scrap it because I feel like the vehicle itself, because it reaches so many people, can still do something.
Yeah.
But I feel like its core values need to change a little bit to catch up with the modern time, in the same way that they did when they did Daniel Craig, because it was funny, it was stupid, people weren't taking it seriously anymore, and
That-
it
I
was
think,
kind of
yeah.
being left on the shelf a bit with Brosnan and stuff. But now they need to kind of go back to that because that's what people want now.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it there. When Craig came in 2006, it was what was needed, and it was
At the
what
time,
was wanted. And then by Spectre, it kind of gone full circle, and it was a perfect ending for that character.
Yeah.
And then Craig just kind of pushed it.
Yeah, I think we
You
should.
can't blame him. A lot
No.
of money on the table.
I don't think we
uh,
should have this film though.
No, I agree. Nor Spectre, because that was terrible.
No, we should have stopped at Skyfall.
Yeah. And then brought in Idris
redone.
Elba or something.
Yeah, Idris Elba would have been great. Or even if you do want to keep with white James Bond, fine. Henry Cavill is a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I personally would go Henry Golding because guy's
Fair.
suave. He's young as well, so he's got Daniel
You could
Craig
go
came
young
in still
Bond,
quite
yeah.
old. I think like a young, inexperienced Bond.
who
would
was
be
the
what
guy
this
in
time.
1917, the lead in that?
Yeah,
He
George
is
Mackay.
Sick. He's
The
amazing.
one
Literally
that
everything I've seen him in. Yeah, George Mackay.
wait, have you seen 1917 yet?
Yes.
Okay. Spoiler alert. The one that dies or the one that carries on?
The one that carries on.
Yeah, I agree. He's
He
cool.
would be sick.
And he has already shown versatility this year.
Is he suave enough,
1917.
though?
I don't know. You look at some of the Bonds in the past, some of them aren't that suave. To me, Daniel Craig is not suave. Like,
You-
obviously, he's a
You wouldn't have said Taron Egerton was before he got cast in Kingsman.
genuinely.
It's a fair point. So, like, this is weird for me because I've never seen a single James Bond film, so I'm very much an outsider in this. So, like, what is it? You said, like, the core values. What is it that brings people to James Bond every time?
I think it's the fact that they know it's a reputation they know, and they've kind of always a lot of people have grown up with it. So you've got people like my dad who just like watched every Bond film because that's what you do in the 1970s because there's not a lot else to do. And you've got people now who are coming to it expecting like a fresh, modern, cool action film
That's
and
it.
aren't getting that.
It's obviously Bond is cool. That is the whole point.
Yeah,
Okay.
But
Bond
I
has to
feel
be
like
cool.
Right.
the definition of cool has changed, obviously, since like the 1960s when it first started.
Yeah.
And now, like you say, with the Craig films, I feel like that character, that iteration of the character, to me, is just not cool anymore. It's still
It's kind of like you're watching your dad go around on an action film.
exactly like he doesn't. The comedy in it has not been good, like you say. No,
But
or
it
even
wasn't.
existed.
But it was in Spyfall. It was funny.
Yeah.
Not
I
Spy.
think-
Yeah, is it Spyfall? Yeah, Spyfall.
Skyfall.
Skyfall. Sorry.
Yeah.
Spyfall is the Doctor Who episode.
Oh.
Well, like, it's weird because I always look at James Bond a bit like Doctor Who.
Hmm.
Like the reason I haven't watched James Bond is because of Doctor Who. not been
Interesting.
for the same reasons that I don't watch Doctor Who, where it's like it's quite daunting to just jump into it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You could just jump in from Casino Royale onwards because it hard resets at Casino
Right.
an aging audience that were already invested and were going to stay invested regardless of what they did, but they needed to attract new people, so they like just hard reset that. And
in all honesty, Bond is like the perfect franchise to just dip into any film.
Yeah, none of them really link apart from
no
the Craig
characters apart from his like little team at MI5, 6, whichever, actually stay. Okay. So yeah, all the bad guys gone. They've started to try and bring them back, but with no real basis.
Yeah, it's weird. They're bringing like Blofeld back and stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing. It needs new stuff. I don't want old Bond.
Especially when it didn't work.
Yeah, like
the first time.
And they've done it again.
Yeah,
like why? And I think that's the problem, is the fact that they don't quite. They're trying to riff off their own history, but their history isn't. It's strong enough, but that's not what people want. People want
not
the
anymore.
Cool new action film.
Yeah.
Like I say, that's not really what they're gonna get by doing that. So.
Yeah, the game's changed, I think.
Exactly, and they need to change along with it, otherwise it's gonna die.
Do you think it should go the John Wick route then?
Like I say, either John Wick or the not as quippy and as stupid as the MCU route, but the old like Brosnan films.
Yeah, with a bit more kind of subtlety to it.
Yeah,
but some sort of self-awareness. Like those films were ridiculous, but they knew they were.
Yeah,
I respect that.
It winked at the camera like every 5 minutes, being like, "We know we're stupid, but we're now going to drive an Aston Martin off a cliff." Hey.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It was that kind of like that's what Kingsman was ripping off when they did that film. They were ripping off the Brosnan films.
Austin Powers.
Yeah, Austin Powers was ripping off like old school Bond.
Proper old school.
But like that killed Bond, and that's why they needed to make it serious. So,
and
like,
they've done it, and now it's time to kind of mix it up again.
Yeah, you either go back to being funny, which I think would suit the brand as a whole because that's what it always was.
Again, with the right actor.
Yeah, with the right actor. Or you go the serious and get George Mackay, or McKay, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
And you go like the gritty, you go even further into that.
I think that might get me in. If they cast another hard reset, cast a younger actor because when did Daniel Craig get cast?
06.
Was his first
yeah, so he's been there like 14 years.
I think at that point I was too young and dumb to know who Daniel Craig was. So if they cast it now and it was someone that I recognise, I think I might jump in.
Yeah.
But let's say it's difficult. I'd say when it's like, you like, he says having rewatched every Marvel film like once a year for like 3 years.
You
but
just don't have time for the Bond films.
I just don't have time for the Bond films.
Yeah.
I've got to go back and watch how many are there? Like 20.
More than that, mate.
Bond, yeah, I don't know.
I'd just
this
start
is the
from Casino
25th
Royale.
one, yeah. This will be the 25th.
25th, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd just start from Casino Royale if I was you.
And then finish at Skyfall.
Yeah, and then don't watch Spectre.
So that's only 3 films. Then.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
This new one's got Rami Malek in it.
Yeah.
I do like Rami Malek.
I like Rami Malek.
Yeah, he's alright.
I like Rami Malek.
He's good in
He was good in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I got burned by Spectre.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get excited.
Oh, it was such a terrible film.
I was so excited for it as well.
Same.
So, after Skyfall was finally the Bond film I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, finally we had a funny but also nicely serious, towed the line, was a strong, like, fast adventure.
And it was the same director coming back, right? It was,
same director
Sam
coming
Mendes,
back, same writers coming back. Like, I was like, yes, it's just going to be more Skyfall. And then they went, now we're going to make it more like the old films where it's a globetrotty one. And I was like, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And it was just crap.
It's weird as well because I was like, I mean, action films are a bit hit and miss anyway, but like, there have been some really good ones, like semi-recently. Like the latest Mission Impossible was really good.
Oh yeah, it could go the Mission Impossible route.
Yeah.
I forgot about Mission Impossible.
Like, they are just dumb though.
It needs the Simon Pegg Q route as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because Ben Whishaw was a great actor, but his character's forgettable.
He's just underutilized.
Yeah. Do you want a quick question, Nathan, before we wrap things up? The tongue roll did not work, so I just sounded weird. I sounded wrap the... Yeah, that way.
We got...
Okay, this is kind of a weird one. Like, I don't actually know if... Like, I don't think I have an answer for this, but...
Okay.
If there was a live-action film that... Since we've been talking about Pixar, is there a live-action film that you think would benefit from being animated instead?
Ooh, I mean, Spider-Man did that, didn't it?
Yeah, but like an actual film that was like recreated film for film, frame for frame. But it's like the opposite of the Lion King.
Yeah, the reverse Lion King.
The reverse Lion King.
Oh, flipping heck.
That would benefit from like that sort of style.
Purely so as I can have all of the cast back and have another one of those films. But it was a TV show originally. Serenity, which was the continuation of the Firefly TV show.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
why?
it's like 14, 15 years. I think it was 2005 when Serenity came out.
Yeah.
And they're now way too old to be playing those parts. Convincingly. But if they came back and did like an animated sequel, because it's a sci-fi future, so you can benefit from having the like cool animated style. They've done a load of graphic novels, so it wouldn't be too jarring for the audience coming back to it. And also, people know how to draw them properly. And it would be able to get all of the actors back as like voice actors, and it would still sound and feel the same. It'd be the same family again. So yeah, I'd say Serenity.
Do you have anything to offer, George? Or
No.
okay,
Mainly because I don't like animated films, so.
okay. So
I was trying to think of like something.
I know we just spent the last hour talking about animated
Yeah,
films,
yeah.
but, you know.
like the two that came to mind. The first one was the original Deadpool.
Yeah,
Like-
that could work.
Yeah,
Because
like
the comic book
you
style,
know in
like
the
jumping out of the plane.
Kill
Yeah.
Bill when they have the anime scene
yeah.
sequence, I really like that because you just ramp up the gore even more.
And I think like the fact that he put he's like narrating over it. Like, he like pauses the film and talks over it and breaks the fourth wall, and that'll work really well animated. My second one was, even though I don't like the film, I think I would actually enjoy it more if it was animated. Baby Driver,
Fair.
like with the whole like, I think you could then play it into the music a little bit more, with maybe like the
Like in Spider-Verse where it has like the
Yeah.
graphics popping up.
yeah, like
That'd be cool.
like the animation could like respond to the music, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
That's where my head went. But I actually like that film, so I might actually enjoy it more if it was.
I'm going to go for all of the prequels trilogies from Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a
What
good.
do you mean?
because,
Because of that cartoonish anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And because Clone Wars is better than
Yeah.
not the film Clone Wars, the series Clone Wars
And
works really well.
Yeah,
So
Rebels,
yeah, that's what I'd go for.
yeah,
Fair.
makes sense. Makes sense.
And on that bombshell,
On that bombshell, it's time for us to end. I'm not going to say anything else because I imagine I would get sued.
What were you gonna say?
Because it's just the Top Gear thing, isn't it? It's just the.
Right.
I'm not-
Okay.
thank you very much for
Okay.
watching. Good night.
I
But
think-
you can't say that.
you've said it now.
Ah,
I think they're too busy counting the money they got from Amazon. So
Yeah, to be fair. I mean, I like new Top Gear. Anyway, thank you very much
Do
for
you?
listening. I do. I really enjoy it.
Oh, let's not do this.
I'm
Let's
one
not
of
do
those
this.
weird people. I'm sorry.
who's even on it now? Is it still Paddy McGuinness?
Paddy McGuinness and Freddie Flintoff, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, God.
I love it. It's
Oh,
great.
wow.
Anyway, my weird love of Top Gear aside, thank you very much for listening. We will be back next week. What we're going to be back with, do we know yet? Or
TBC.
what a well-known film TBC is. We're going to be back with the film TBC. Thank you
It
very much for
probably
listening.
is a film, let's be honest.
It's probably going to be a film.
Shall I look up if it's a film?
It probably is a
Just,
film.
just to keep.
Oh,
us
go on
going.
then.
Oh, go on then.
Go on then.
Say
Treat us,
say some
Nathan.
more words.
George can edit this out.
TBC
I cannot.
You can.
This is staying in.
film.
Oh, why has this got to stay in,
Because
George?
I'll forget by tomorrow.
That's entirely
film
fine.
TBC 2012 Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it actually a thing?
It still says coming soon.
Oh,
Oh, you've been mugged.
You got mugged off there, mate.
Is that even the official Rotten? I think I might have been like well and truly mugged. Like,
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
mugged
you
off
were.
there, mate.
No, I don't think it is a film.
Fair enough. Well, we will be back with something other than a film that mugged Nathan off. So thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Bye.
But
Bye.